Hey golfers, I'm Drew Mahowald of Second Swing Golf, and welcome back to the Second Swing YouTube channel. Today we're in the tour van at the Minnetonka store with another head-to-head driver comparison. I'm joined by Jake Montgomery, fitting manager at the Minneapolis store, for two low spin drivers in 2024 here. We wanted to highlight the low spin category, and I think if you were to ask our fitters which is their favorite low spin driver of the year, a lot of them would say the Paradym AI Smoke Triple Diamond from Callaway. We also wanted to throw in the DARKSPEED LS from Cobra because we think that's a pretty good value right now given where the price is at.
Yep.
We'll say it that way. So you got both in your hand there, Jake. You've been fitting them all year. What would you say, just before even testing, differences between the two?
Yeah, I mean, these honestly have kind of been two low spin titans this year. They really take spin off the golf ball. They both also feature kind of like an AI face to them, so they have some kind of undulating topography underneath there, which helps increase ball speed on a miss hit.
Yep.
Both pretty much fully carbon chassis as well, so they're able to kind of maneuver weight however they want. They both have weights that you can move from the back to the front to either help reduce spin or add more forgiveness to them. I would say I've definitely seen more purchases of the Callaway AI Smoke this past year. Just, again, they've got a
brand
big
notoriety.
big marketing machine behind them. But I mean, these have both been fantastic as far as ball speed and spin rate goes. For those guys that have excessive spin, these are two drivers I go to almost immediately.
Yeah, it's and it's also worth noting too. Now Callaway doesn't have the jailbreak technology, so to speak, in their drivers anymore. It was really successful for a long time. The power bridge that Cobra has is similar to that, and so it's kind of cool to see, you know, Cobra having success with something along those lines. With that kind of piece in the club head there. So we're going to test both today. Talk about the shaft. I know you got a matching shaft here as well. So let's talk about that, and then we'll get into the testing.
Yeah, so this is the Link M40X. This is going to be a low launch, low spin shaft. Think kind of like your Hazardous Black, your Tennessee White. Just low launch, low spin profile.
Perfect. All right, yeah.
We'll both in a 70-gram extra stiff.
Here we go. We'll hit a few good shots with each of them and talk about the differences. We got numbers. TrackMan's ready to go here.
All right.
Look like a good first swing.
Yep.
Oh,
Take that all day.
And you've talked before. Another, you know, you launch the ball pretty low as it is.
Yes, 100%.
So you don't play a low spin driver yourself.
No, these are not models that I would traditionally play because of that peak cut right there. But I swung up in that 1.7 degrees and I still only launched it 11.5.
There's some speed.
Yeah, push right. Anytime we see a high launch, it's just going right.
But look how low that spin is for a right ball.
Yeah, 1,600 spin.
It's low spin. We said it. You said low spin Titans. I think that confirms it, at least for the Callaway right there.
Yeah.
Just square up that face a little bit, and that thing is probably 315 down the middle. Some more speed again. Oh yeah, there's the little draw. How's the feel of this one here? We've been doing some driver testing this morning, so you got kind of a baseline, so to speak. But what does this one feel like?
I would say the AI Smart Face feels a little bit more like kind of the GT2 does, a little bit softer, especially on a center strike. Don't feel the miss hit quite as much. That's consistent so far.
Another good one. Triple Diamond is setting a pretty high bar here.
Yeah. Just love to see that number get into the threes.
Yeah. When your ball speed is consistently in the 160s here, which is pretty darn fast. Wow.
That one I hit pretty good.
Jake.
There we go.
Woo. Spicy. Spicy.
All right.
These are pretty darn good numbers here. 109 club, 162 ball speed, 148 smash, very efficient. 1977 spin. We talked about low spin, spin killer.
Yep, 100%.
Under 2,000. 271 carry, 303 total. Jake.
I mean, yeah, I was pretty impressed with that driver, to be honest. Like, the ball speed was really staying up there. I don't know if, did I have a single one that wasn't in the 160s?
Your first one.
Ah, okay. I mean, yeah, that 160 number is kind of like right around where I hover. If I'm hitting it good that day, I might get up to like 165 on my best one.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was pretty impressive ball speed right off the bat. Really solid spin rate too. I mean, it didn't deviate too much either. What I'd love to see is like on a low spin driver, sometimes you can have like 1,500, 2,300.
Right.
Well, I was at 19 to 22 every time. I mean,
Yep.
I guess I had one that was at 1609. But for the most part, it stayed pretty consistent there.
Yeah, the consistency here is what I'm really liking about those swings. Yeah, that's a really good start. A lot to live up to here for the DARKSPEED LS.
Yeah, I'd say it's got its work cut out for it.
And then in terms of dispersion too, we talked about the one miss out to the right, which still spun down. Actually, was a
That was the
1600.
lowest spin ball that I hit.
Yeah. So otherwise, you got 3 that are absolutely perfect, and then you even got this one. Again, it's still bombed. It's still in the fairway. Tiny bit on the right side, maybe, but that's nitpicking. So really good start from the AI Smoke Triple Diamond.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's try the
We'll
Cobra.
move over to the DARKSPEED LS.
That felt pretty good.
Ooh, wow. Some ball speed right off the bat with this one, too. Woo.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. This is going to be a heated battle here down the stretch.
I think so.
Before we go any further,
Yep.
look and feel after, I guess that was only one swing, but look and feel differences there.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like I caught that pretty middle, and I'd say it still felt a little firmer than the
Okay.
Callaway did. But again, not a bad thing. It's just more responsive to me.
Yeah.
This thing looks fast. It's very angular, kind of a longer boat tail at the end. It's got some kind of sharper edges to it. It looks like this thing just wants to slice through the air.
Yeah. Yeah. Looks very aerodynamic looking, I guess.
100%.
Woo. More
Thing's coming out
speed.
hot.
So you're pretty consistently starting the ball right of your target, and then,
Yes.
you know, more often than not, it draws back, and then sometimes it stays out there. But even that one, it drew back a little bit
Yep.
and stayed perfectly in play.
One thing I like about these low spin drivers is they're usually more fade biased as well, which for me, like, anytime I get something starting left, turning left, it's bad. It's not good.
Right.
So this really gives me confidence that I can start it right, curve it back a little bit, curve it back a little more. I mean, I will always take a push like that. That's
Yeah.
not a problem to me at all.
Oh, that's so funny. That just,
just read
registered.
that?
It just registered a swing there. Yeah, we're gonna remove that shot.
I
That
think
did
that's
not just
fair.
happen.
That might be kind of a big draw. It was very toey.
Might be
If
kind
it
of a big
turns.
draw, he says.
Yeah,
Oh,
it just stayed out. It felt very, very toey.
okay. Yeah, I can see the smash went down.
Yeah. On some drivers, that ball just kind of goes
Dives.
return to sender back to the middle
Right.
because of the gear effect.
Well, for what it's worth, the numbers didn't really dive that much after that. I mean,
No.
ball speed went down a tiny bit, but it's still, you know, again, it's out to there to the right, which
Yeah.
is pretty much the main issue with that one, is just that it's out to the right, but the ball still went 305 yards.
100%.
So.
I'd say I'm just having a little more trouble getting this one to turn over.
Yeah, you did mention the whole fade bias thing, and now your draw is not, well,
Not
this
drawn
club, it's
back.
not even showing up yet. Definitely started that one a little bit more on line.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I was trying to get the draw going there. All right. Very low spin.
Yep, low launch, low spin on that one for sure. I
good
think
on a
because
windy
of
day.
this, I think this ball in particular is going to maybe result in a lower carry distance for the DARKSPEED LS, which is fine. But
Yep.
ball speed's still very high on that one, very efficient strike.
Yeah.
And then again, your draw, you got it to turn over that time. There's another low launch, high ball speed. There's the turnover. Yep.
right.
Almost even didn't. It's almost hurting how low and launch and low spin it was
Yeah,
there.
100%.
So let's get these numbers up here. We've got the averages. Look how
Pretty
close
similar
that
shaping.
dispersion is.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. That's funny. All right, let's expand this here. You swung the DARKSPEED a little bit faster.
Yep.
I think you picked up on that too as you kind of went on.
For sure.
What else on these numbers jumps out at you here?
I mean, what's really surprising to me, honestly, is the carry's pretty much dead even on the two, despite
Yes.
me launching the DARKSPEED a little bit lower. Spin rate on it was lower, peak height was lower. I think that a couple, the ones out to the right, kind of caused the variance
Skew
to
it
be
a
a
little
little bit
bit.
bigger on its height. So, I mean, you can see I had about an 18-foot variance
Oh, yeah.
for the height on the DARKSPEED, or about a 9-foot variance on the Triple Diamond. I mean, the dark speed felt super fast. Like when I was hitting it, it felt like it was exploding out the face.
Yeah, you can see the consistency was a little bit better with this AI smoke. Just you look at these plus minus numbers, all of them are a little bit smaller with the triple diamond, specifically on the carry and the total distance.
Yeah.
We talked about the height as well. Dispersion though, look, it is funny.
It was identical.
It's
basically.
so funny how they're basically the same thing. That's funny. Because what you have going right now is your face is open at impact on every swing. If it turns over with these low spin heads, it kind of almost stayed low and it started to dive a little bit. And if you squared it up a little bit to your path, you just nuked that thing. 310, 315 on a couple. But in terms of performance for a low spin head, they're very comparable.
Yes.
I think we saw this with another video that dark speed might be a little bit lower launching compared to others out there, which it can be very valuable for a lot of people.
For sure, 100%.
A lot of people might not be like you that actually launch it too high and need to bring that down.
Yep.
And then same with the spin too. It's a low spinning series of drivers, which is really good for distance.
And just to give people an idea out there as far as fitting goes, both of these drivers had the heavyweight more towards the front of the face.
Yeah.
If you want to see a higher launch but maintain that low spin, you can always throw that weight in the back. It usually helps about a half a degree to a degree for the launch angle. So, I mean, that would definitely be something that we could try in future testing to kind of see how that's going to affect the height there. But I think for most people, having that weight in the back, increasing MOI, increasing launch is always beneficial.
Right, yeah. This is kind of the tip of the iceberg in terms of club fitting and dialing. I mean, if you were to come in, the viewer, come in and get dialed in for all the specs, there's so much more to focus on.
Yep, 100%.
So
these would be kind of the initial numbers we'd look at, and we'd start tweaking from there.
For sure. Well, again, 2 awesome low spin drivers in 2024. Callaway AI Smoke Triple Diamond's been awesome. Cobra DARKSPEED LS is going to be a great value option here at the end of 2024 and into 2025. So really, I guess encouraging you consider that if you're in the market for a driver, specifically a low spin model. DARKSPEED LS is a great one. So Jake, thanks for joining, doing the testing. Great findings here today. Make sure golfers subscribe to the channel for more content coming in the future.